Across the last couple of years, months, or even weeks, the AFL stadiums that we all know and love are all set for brand new redevelopments. Some are staying the same, but some new designs have been released for some. And folks, they look absolutely insane. So in today's video, I'm going to be going through all of them one by one and show you how they're going to look in the next 10 to 15 years for the AFL stadiums, the major AFL stadiums, and how they're going to look in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get into it. Beginning today's video with the new look of University of Tasmania Stadium. Now here we can see a couple of changes to the venue with the rebuilds of the two grandstands, one being behind the goals and the other being on the eastern side of the ground. And from what it looks like, the second tier stand also looks like it's going to be extended, and the building that sits on the wing of the ground has also been removed. And where that was, the western stand will be extended onto the Carlton draft stand, which is a stand just on the left side of the western stand. Those are just the first three redevelopments to the UTAS Stadium, but if the City of Launceston can actually fund it in the future, there will be plans to redevelop the venue even further into a 30,000 plus capacity seat venue, including further development to the eastern stand and also the northern terrace building, transforming it into one big double tier stand. And honestly, when Tasmania joined the AFL in 2028 or something like that, I reckon this venue is going to be really elite for the AFL. The stupid thing is though, it's said that this stadium is actually going to be 5,000 seats bigger than the one that they're building in Hobart or Macquarie Point Stadium. It's really odd in my opinion. To a redevelopment that is already in progress and is actually about to be completed as well. And this is the Marvel Stadium redevelopment. Now, nothing is actually happening to the actual field, but it's actually the inside and the entrance of the stadium that's changing. Here we can see the outside of the stadium is said to have a massive glass wall all around the stadium. It's actually a really cool design. Now, having a look at just outside the venue now, you've got the MCG style TV screen outside the front of gates 2 and 3, showing the two teams playing, and with the cool new cafe and market also having a feature on this photo. You've got the new elevators as well, and oh my god, there is more windows. They're also changing the LEDs to something that we would see at Optus Stadium, and obviously the two big video screens that have already been added to the top of the roofs at Marvel, just hanging down, and I think it looks really awesome. But as I said, the redevelopment is basically already done and should be ready for the 2024 AFL season. Although it could be done now, I don't really know, but nothing has really come through to say that the redevelopment is done from like Oz Stadiums or anything on the news to say that the Marvel Stadium redevelopment is complete. But if anyone knows, feel free to comment down below. Mars Stadium in Ballarat is set to look completely different in the next 10 years. Have a look at this. With this huge redevelopment that has already been happening at the venue for the last 6 to 7 years now. The ground is set to be turned into an all-seater stadium with no hills or gaps in the venue at all, just all seating and no open areas. It's literally going to be turned into a major AFL stadium where no team is located. But you never know, it could be the start of another Victorian side in the AFL. You know, Victoria doesn't actually have a team from the western side, but I suppose that like every single team in every state doesn't actually have a team from the north, south, east and west. But anyway, the ground is set to be able to hold around 18,000 people, but looking at these photos, I'd probably say that's 20,000 plus at minimum. Like that is probably pretty poor to say that's 18,000 people. But even with the cancellation of the 2026 Commonwealth Games in Victoria, the $150 million redevelopment to the venue will still go ahead. And it is said with the new seating capacity of Mars Stadium in the future that they're going with, it could see the Dogs sign a further 2-game deal with Mars Stadium, bringing up to 4 games a year at Mars Stadium. So similar to North Melbourne and Hawthorn or Blundstone and UTAS Stadium. Now this redevelopment has basically just been announced and will be tied for Optus Stadium for most expensive stadium in Australia. And this is the redevelopment of the Gabba. And have a look at these photos. This just looks absolutely magnificent. You've got the LED screen that just circles around the entire venue with whoever the home team may be and their colours as seen here, whether it's the Brisbane Lions, Australia, Brisbane Heat, etc. The inside of the stadium looks absolutely fire. It's going with the Optus Stadium sort of design with no light towers and just a section of lights on those, I guess, beam or poles, whatever you prefer to call them. Those will be at the top of the stadium, and not to mention the 2 new massive scoreboard screens and 3 tiers all around the venue. It's just unbelievable. The ground currently holds 42,000 people, but the new rebuild of the Gabba will see the ground hold 50,000+ people during AFL and cricket season. And apparently they're estimating 70,000 people could fit in the Gabba for concerts after this redevelopment. Well, in fact, it's actually not going to be a redevelopment. They're actually going to demolish the Gabba and then reconstruct the venue again. But construction for the Gabba is meant to take place after the 2025 to 2026 Ashes series. And this major redevelopment to the venue is set to take 4 to 5 years to complete. And for those that don't know, as for the Brisbane Lions and the Brisbane Heat, It is yet to be decided where they're going to be playing their games, but a redevelopment plan for the UTAS Stadium, I think I said that right, or QSAC Stadium, or the Brisbane Showgrounds. And after the Gabba has completed the redevelopment, UTAS Stadium will probably stay a 25,000 plus capacity seat venue, and it just kind of be pointless making a 25,000 plus capacity seat venue for like 4 to 5 years and then just ditch it after. So I'd probably say the Brisbane Lions AFLW team could relocate to that venue. Now this plan hasn't been really talked about for the last 2-3 years, and yeah, it's just kind of a dark horse that I don't feel like people have really mentioned this redevelopment. And this is the redevelopment of the MCG. Yes, it's getting another redevelopment. Now, the plans for the MCG is yet another rebuild of the Great Southern Stand, or currently known as the Shane Warne Stand. Basically, rebuilding the stand so it's on roofline level with the Northern Stand, because I think you've probably seen on TV or a couple aerial shots there. The stand's kind of, obviously you got the Northern Stand here, and then the Shane Warne Stand, it's kind of like down here, so it's not exactly on roofline level of the Northern Stand. And with this new redevelopment of the MCG, an estimated 5,000 plus people could also fill the venue, bringing the MCG up to 105,000 people. And with the estimated 105,000 people, that'll bring the MCG to the 5th biggest stadium in the world. Along with the rebuild of the Shane Warne Stand, there's also said that there's going to be a new open air bar and dining area, and also the iconic heritage light towers are set to remain untouched, and the construction for all that is set to begin by 2028 and is expected to take around 3 years to complete. Anyway guys, that does bring us to the end of today's video. If you did enjoy today's video and would like to see more videos like this in the future, do leave a like and subscribe to the channel. I'll be uploading more content in the future. But that will mark the end of videos for the year of 2023. So personally, I'd like to thank you all for an amazing 2023 year for uploads. Wasn't as consistent as I did hope for, but I promise 2024 is set to be a massive year for the channel. More consistent, I'll have a lot more free time on my hands, and ladies and gentlemen, you don't want to miss out. So thanks for watching, like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. See yous.